Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I am doing all of the books that I am very excited about releasing in winter. Yeah, winter 2024. So I had my seasons mixed up a little bit, but I have my mom's phone so I can look at new releases, and we're just gonna go off. I'm gonna try to put them in order, but we know Goodreads isn't exactly great at doing that, so we'll try our best. And hopefully Goodreads is actually working today. So I'm going to start off with middle grade books. Let's see. We're doing January, February, and March. Okay. But I have to sort by published date. There we go. Okay, so this one, I am still trying to figure out when it's going to be put out in the US. It was published last September 28th in the UK, and usually it's out by now in the US. So I don't know what's keeping it on hold, but Child of the Beast by Jack Midget Phillips. This is the fourth book in the Beast and the Bethany series, and I've been really loving this series, and so I'm like, I just really need to read it. And I'm going to check again on my library card and see if it's available yet, but I just really enjoy the series. They're fun. They have a good message to them with the characters, and I just really want to continue reading them. Okay, so the first one that comes out in January 23rd is called Amil and the After by Vera Haranandani, and I've read at least, I think, 2 books by the author. I can actually look and see. I think I've read at least 2 of her books, and I really enjoy her middle grades. They have always I believe, an Indian main character, usually. And this one says, at the turn of the new year in 1948, Amil and his family are trying to make a home in India, now independent of British rule. So it usually does mixed race characters. So this character is half Muslim, half Hindu. And Amil is not sure what home means anymore. So the memory of the long and difficult journey from their hometown in what is now Pakistan lives with him. And despite having an apartment in Bombay to live in and a school to attend, life in India feels uncertain. So I really enjoyed the books that I've read by her so far, and I have another one on my shelf somewhere. So I'm excited to see if I like that one too. I have 2 middle grades coming out in February. One is called Lost Kites and Other Treasures by Kathy Carr. This one comes out on the 6th. So this book is about Franny, who's a 12-year-old, and she doesn't let anyone know how often she thinks of the charismatic, troubled mom who left her years ago. Any more than she talks about the unaccountable things mom did while she was still in the picture. Life with Nana is safe and secure, and Franny's innovative art projects fill in any lonesome times. But when Nana has an accident and Franny's estranged uncle comes home to help out for a while, some long-guarded family secrets come to light. So there's that one. And then the next one comes out February 13th, The Princess Protection Program by Alex London. So every fairy tale ends with its characters living happily ever after, right? But what if the princess does not think a kiss from a stranger is a very pleasant way to wake up? When Rosamund flees her prince, a door of opportunity opens and she steps through to the Home Educational Academy. Rosamund has found the Princess Protection Program, where fugitive fairy tale princesses escape unwanted affections, untimely ends, and all the other perils of their stories. It just sounds like a blast, and I don't know if it's going to be a series or not, but it just sounds like so much fun, and I can't wait to read it. There are, I think, 3 coming out in March for middle grade. One is Uprising by Jennifer Ale Nielsen. I love her middle grade historical fiction. They really dive a little bit deeper than a regular middle grade would dive into, and I just really enjoy them. So this one is, it looks like it's World War II. 12-year-old Lydia is outside her grandfather's house when planes fly overhead, bearing the Nazi cross on each wing. Before the bombs hit the ground, Lydia realizes her life is about to change forever. Poland has fallen under German occupation, and her father makes the brave decision to join the Polish army to fight against the Nazis. So this sounds like it's Warsaw, Poland during beginning of World War II. So after reading The Warsaw Sisters by Amanda Barrett, I'm all for having more stories based in Warsaw and in Poland area. The next one is called The Underdogs of Ups and Downs by Craig Silvey. It's a heartwarming and a hilarious story about a girl and her dog, and of kindness, friendship, hurdles, tunnels, seesaws, and most importantly, bringing out the best in yourself and others. And then the last one that comes out in March for middle grade is called Olive Eddy by Allie Millington. I can't remember how I found out about this one or not, but it's about a typewriter who was surrounded by books, notorious attention hogs, and recently replaced by a computer. Olive Eddy has been forgotten by the Brindle family, the family he's lived with for years. The Brindles are busy humans, apart from 12-year-old Ernest, who would rather be left alone with his collection of Oxford English dictionaries. The least they could do is remember Olive Eddy once in a while, since he remembers every word they've typed on him. It's a thankless job keeping memories alive. So it sounds really, really fun. Okay, so that's it for middle grade. Let's see if I have any thrillers that are coming out in January, February, or March. Okay, I actually have all of the thrillers that I have come out in the beginning of the year, so that's nice. So on January 9th is The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. I haven't read anything by this author. I may have tried one at one point, but I put this one on the list because I have a NetGalley arc that was free for read now. Haven't read it yet, but I decided to put it on there. So it says, when Ruby McTavish Callahan Woodward Miller Kenmore, wow, that's a long name, died, she's not only North Carolina's richest woman, she's also its most notorious. The victim of a famous kidnapping as a child and a widow 4 times over, Ruby ruled the tiny town of Tavistock from Ashby House, her family's estate, high in the Blue Ridge Mountains. In the aftermath of her death, that estate, along with a 9-figure fortune and the complicated legacy of being a McTavish, passed to her adopted son Camden. So, probably some family secrets, I'm guessing. And this one was kind of a cover pick because I really like the cover. It's called Where You End by Abbott Kaller. Ratings aren't that great. It's 3.57 already for reviews. So this is inspired by true events. An unusual form of amnesia upends the lives of identical twins, forcing them to face the indelible, dangerous shadow of the past. So it does say it does have to do with a cult in the story. Those are kind of hit or miss for me. So it's about this girl who she wakes up from a coma and sees her twin sister. And her twin's face and name are the only memories that she has before her accident. So Kat tries to relearn her history and identity. She trusts her sister Jude will provide all the answers. But as the months progress, Kat begins to fear that maybe Jude has been lying to her. So I want to try it. Hopefully it's good. Maybe. We'll see. So the next one comes out on January 9th. That is Deep Freeze by Michael C. Grumley. This is a first book in a series called Revival. So it says the accident came quickly with no warning. In the dead of night, a plunge into a freezing river trapped everyone inside the bus. It was then that Army veteran John Reef's life came to an end, extinguished in the sudden rush of frigid water. There was no expectation of survival, none, let alone waking up beneath blinding hospital light, struggling to move or see or even breathe. But the doctors assure him that everything is normal. And it says, as Reef's mind and body gradually recover, he becomes certain that the doctors are lying to him. So it sounds quite interesting, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Okay, so on February 6th, comes out The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder. And this one is a debut novel. A former antique hunter investigates a suspicious death at an isolated English manor, embroiling her back in the dangerous world of tracking stolen artifacts. So it's an antique mystery. I think it's going to be fun and hoping that it's good. Let's see what the rating is. 3.71 so far. That's not bad. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. And then there are 2 that are coming out on February 20th. One is Keep Your Friends Close by Leah Conan. Cover had me intrigued. It says, strangers on a train meets the family next door in this page-turning thriller. With friends like these, who needs enemies? So Mary is isolated and embroiled in a custody battle and needs a friend more than ever. When she meets a charming and enigmatic Willa at a Brooklyn playground, the woman's connection feels faded. Finally, she has someone on her side. During a margarita mom's night out, though, Mary shares her darkest secret about her ex George, and Willa simply disappears. No calls, no texts, nothing. Interesting. Sounds like it's definitely more of a family drama story. So I have to be careful with those because I normally don't like them. So we'll see if I like that one, if I get a chance to read it. And the last one for February for thrillers is The Guest by B.A. Paris. I have read everything she's written, but the last 2 that she had more language in it than her first 3. Her first 3 had literally like maybe one swear word in the entire book, maybe 2. But especially the last one had a lot, and that kind of distracted me from enjoying the story. And the story honestly wasn't as great as her first couple. So we shall see if I like this one or not. I know this, I actually just started it. I have the advanced reader's copy on NetGalley. But this is about Iris and Gabriel, who they live in a beautiful home in the British countryside, a daughter happily working in Greece, and good friends Laurie and Pierre from Paris, who they often vacation with. But when a young man has a tragic accident in a nearby quarry, Gabriel is the one to find him and hear his final words, leaving Gabriel with a guilty burden. So I do like her more. Hers are more domestic thriller. I actually do like those. Her first couple are really good, so I'm hoping this one is similar to her earlier releases. And then there's only one thriller left that comes out in March. It's called The Best Way to Bury Your Husband. That just kind of sounded fun. I don't know why. Not that I'm married or anything. So this one's a little bit dark premise. It says, a dark comedy about four women coming together to heal the damage their husbands have done and hide their bodies once they've killed them. So, yeah, great bunch of gals there. So, interesting. I'm only going to read that because I don't want to know anything else about it. The ratings look pretty good, actually. It's 4.02 rating already, so we'll see. Maybe it's good. Okay, and then fantasy and sci-fi. Okay, there are a couple, actually. The first one on January 9th is called Somewhere in the Deep by Tanvi Burwa. Cover got me. It sounds like it might be, I don't know if it's a Little Mermaid retelling. Maybe not. 17-year-old Crescent Dune is buried under the weight of her dead parents' debt and their ruinous legacy they left behind. The only way she could earn enough money to escape her unforgiving island is by battling monstrous creatures in an underground fighting pit. After a fight goes terribly wrong, she's banned from the pits. Not hopeless, she is offered a deal. In exchange for the insurer of her debts, she must join and protect a hunting party for a rescue mission deep within the mining caves beneath the island. That just sounds incredible. I forgot why I grabbed that one, but it just sounds so good. So, we shall see. Oh, my friend actually, an author that I know and have read from gave it 5 stars. So that's okay. And then the next one that comes out on January 16th, I have not read the first book yet, but I have heard amazing things about it, and I'm hoping it's good. It's called, the first one was called Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and this one's called Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. And it just sounds like a very sweet, cozy romance book. It's not Christian fiction. I'm hoping it's a clean romance. I haven't heard anything else about it. Just that it's kind of cozy. Somebody mentioned reads and feels like a cozy mystery novel to her. So I think I'm going to enjoy that, and I'm hoping to, because it just sounds really sweet, and I'm excited because it's about a girl who, I think she's creating an encyclopedia of fairy lore and different fairies and stuff, and so she goes around different villages to talk about fairies and stuff and fairy lore, and it just sounds like so much fun. So I'm hoping to really enjoy it, and it's definitely a series that I want to try to get to this year. And then the last, I guess these were all fantasy. I didn't have any sci-fi. But the last one is Compass and Blade by Rachel Greenlow, which is coming out February 27th. This says, this world of sea and storm runs deep with bargains and blood. On the remote isle of Rosevere Mira, like her mother before her, is a wrecker, one of the 7 on the rope who swim out to shipwrecks to plunder them. Mira's job is to rescue survivors, if there are any. After all, she never feels the cold of the frigid ocean water, and the waves seem to sing to her soul. But the people of Rosevere never admit the truth, that they set the beacons themselves to lure ships into the rocks. So it sounds very much like a siren retelling. You know, the sirens lure in the pirates and then end up killing them pretty much. So it sounds pretty good, so I'm excited about it. So now we're going into historical fiction. Looks like only 2 for historical fiction. There's one, but I don't know when it's coming out. I hate when it does that because I put it on my most anticipated. It doesn't say when it comes out. So I'm just going to say let's do it because the ratings, there's only 11 ratings, but it's got 4.82. So people who enjoyed it so far. So it's called Your Presence is Mandatory by Sasha Vasilyuk. Vasilyuk? That sounds right. But it's a debut novel based on real events about a Ukrainian World War II veteran with a secret that could land him in the Gulag and his family who are forced to live in the shadow of all he has not told them. So I know that it's dual timeline, 2007 and 1941. So it's going to talk about this soldier who, I believe he's eager to defend his country, and he has a large Jewish family. But he ends up, I think, working for the KGB. And so I think it's going to be quite interesting, and I'm excited to give that one a read. So I want to try this one. It's called The Mayor of Maxwell Street by Avery Cunningham. and it's a debut novel, and it's based in the 1920s. It talks about there's a rich black debutante who enlists the help of a low-level speakeasy manager to identify the head of an underground crime syndicate. So Prohibition era, Chicago, 1920s. This is only water, in case you're wondering. My throat is very dry today. But yeah, so it sounds really good. You know me in 1920s. I love 1920s, so I think it's going to be really good, and I'm hoping it's going to be really good. And then the last historical fiction I have is The Berlin Letters by Catherine Ray. I have not read any of her historical fiction yet, but I've read a few of her contemporary romances and really enjoyed them, so I want to read her historical fiction. So this one is based near the end of the Cold War. A CIA codebreaker discovers a symbol she recognizes from her childhood, which launches her across the world to the heart of Berlin just before the wall comes tumbling down. So I'm intrigued, and I want to read more by Catherine Ray, so I want to read that one. Okay, now we're on to Christian fiction, which I'm guessing there's going to be quite a few, so buckle up. Okay, these might not be in order because these are kind of harder to put in order. So the first one is Fragile Designs by Colleen Coble. This is her newest release. It's going to be coming out in January, on January 2nd, so it's already out, and I need it. It has to do with Fabergé eggs. That's all I need to know because I love mysteries surrounded by Fabergé egg and that type of culture. So I'm really excited to see what she has in store. I can't wait. And I think it's a standalone. Yeah, it says a novel, so it is a standalone, which I'm excited about. So I don't have to wait for the rest of the series to come out before I read the entire series. So yay. Next one is The American Queen that comes out on January 30th by Vanessa Miller. This is 1869. A kingdom rose in the south, and Luella was its queen. Over the 24 years she's been enslaved on the Montgomery plantation, Luella learned to feel one hate. Hate for the man who sold her mother. Hate for the overseer who left her daddy to hang from a noose. Hate so powerful there's no room in her heart for love, not even for the Honorable Reverend William, whom she likes and respects enough to marry. But when William finally listens to Luella's pleas and leads the formerly enslaved people out of their plantation, Luella begins to replace her hate with hope. So, sounds good. I'm excited. Okay, January 23rd comes out of Love and Treason by Jamie Ogle. I actually have a copy already. It's downstairs. I just spilled some on my water. Too excited. But I have a copy of her book, which I'm really excited about. This is a biblical fiction era, and it's talking about how Valentine defies the emperor and becomes a hero, and the most wanted man in the empire. Compelled by his faith, he has nothing to lose until a chance encounter with the daughter of a Roman jailer changes everything. So Rome AD 270, and I'm just really excited to try it. It's already got a 4.64 rating, so that's really good. So January 30 comes out Once a Queen by Sarah Arthur, and the book had me thinking, the cover had me thinking of Chronicles of Narnia. Just had that feeling to it. The blurb at the top says, a mysterious manor house hides the keys to shocking family secrets and rapidly fading portals to other worlds, and the richly woven opener to best-selling author Sarah Arthur's young adult fantasy series. So it is a series. So it sounds like the house is hiding secrets and odd things are happening in the garden at night, and Ava embarks on search for answers. So sounds good. It sounds like favorite childhood fairy tales are possibly true. And there's a lot coming out. There's one on, okay, we got a lot here. January is apparently the month for releases. Okay. So January 16th is Sarah Brunsell's newest book, The Divine Proverb of Streusel. I do not need to know what it's about. I will read it. I love Sarah Brunsell. She's one of my author friends, and her first book was amazing. I just need to read it. I don't even care what it's about. Her first book, The Extraordinary Death of Mrs. Kipp, was amazing, and I just need to read the second one. I know I'm going to love it. January 9th, Laura France's new book, The Seamstress of Acadie, comes out, and again, all these books I really don't even want to know what they're about because I know I love the author. I've loved previous books by them, and I'm going to read it no matter what. So I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I've heard that this is a lot of people's favorite Laura France book, so I'm excited that I'm going to be able to read it. And then there are 3 books coming out on January 23rd. One is The Foxhole Victory Tour by Amil, Lynn Green. I've read one of her other books. It was amazing. This cover is stunning with this like 1940s, I'm guessing, 1940s beautiful girl in the green doing a victory tour in the army. It just looks an incredible, amazing cover, and I need to read it. Yeah, World War II USO variety show. in North Africa. So it sounds amazing. Also coming out January 23rd is Cold Threat by Nancy Mel. This is the second book in her Ryland and St. Clair series. Love the first book. Need to read the second book. That's all I need to say. And then also coming out that day is Up From Dust, Martha's Story by Heather Kaufman. This is a biblical fiction story, which Martha is one of my favorite characters in the Bible, so I'm excited to get a biblical fiction story on her. So I'm excited to see how Heather Kaufman does with that. So February 13th comes out One Final Target, which is Janice Cantori's new book. And I've read a few of her books and really enjoyed them. Breach of Honor was one of my absolute favorites by her. I loved it. So her newest book is coming out, and I know I need to read it. So, two wounded heroes shattered by tragedy and paralyzed by guilt and must find their footing and work together to catch a killer. That's all I need to know. I love her books. I've read at least 3 or 4 of them, and I think she's just an amazing, amazing author. So the next one is A Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventure by Angela Bell. This is, I believe, a debut novel. And it says, when Clara Marie Stanton's ex-fiancé begins to spread rumors that her family suffers from hereditary insanity, it's all Clara can do to protect them from his desperate schemes and society's prejudice. It just sounds like it's going to be a fun time, and I bet it's going to be not necessarily funny, but it's going to be kind of wacky, and just it sounds like it's going to be a fun time. So can't wait to read it. Sarah Sundin's new book comes out on February 6th, and I cannot wait to read it. It's called Emers in the London Sky. I do not need, again, an author that I love. I do not need to know anything about. All of her books are set around World War II, I believe, but she just takes such different aspects in each of her books, like either a different branch of the army, a different country that was doing stuff during World War II, and it was just, her books are so amazing, and I can't wait to read it. Melanie Dickerson's newest release, A Lady of Disguise, comes out in February, which I'm so excited about. You know how much I love Melanie Dickerson. I love her so much. I love talking with her on Instagram, and she's just a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I cannot wait to read her next book, which is coming out. I've heard that it's, I believe, Jack and the Beanstalk retelling, which color me intrigued. I'm excited about that one. 8 Down is also coming out on February 20th by Kimberly Woodhouse. This is her second book in the Alaskan Cyber Hunters. Love the first book, Cyber Hunters Alaska. High intense action. It was very, very good, and I can't wait for the sequel. Amanda Wen is coming out with her third book in a series called The Rhythm of Fractured Grace. It's part of the Sedgwick County Chronicles. I love the first 2. I'm friends with her on Facebook. I love her. She's such a sweet lady, and I can't wait to read her third book. The Irish Matchmaker is Jennifer Dibel's new book coming out on February 13th. I'm really excited to get to that one as well. Honestly, Jennifer Dibel, she's, again, an amazingly sweet lady. I love her, and I just can't wait to read her next one because I think I've read 2 of her books so far, and I can't wait to read another one by her. Okay, and then the last one for February is The Ark and the Dove by Jill Eileen Smith. This is her newest biblical fiction, and this one is based on Noah's wife, which I'm really excited about. I think it's gonna be lots of fun. So I don't think I've read a biblical fiction based that far back in the Old Testament. So that one should be really fun. I can't wait to read that. Oh no, I lied. Jill Eileen Smith's last book before this was based on Eve, so that was even earlier. Okay, and last but not least, releases for March for Christian fiction. If the Boot Fits by Karen Whitmire. This is her second book in the Texas Ever After series, which is all fairy tale retelling set in down south, which I think is going to be lots of fun. It's a Cinderella retelling. Just for the Summer by Melody Carlson is coming out on March 19th. And it sounds amazing. It's about 2 women who swap places. So they swap jobs, they swap everything, and I think they end up falling in love with the guy who is like with the other girl. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Next is The Lady with the Dark Hair by Erin Bartels. Again, I love the book that I read by her this year, so I just want to read it. Sounds like it has to do a lot with art, which I love books about art. Mother and daughter run a small museum and gallery dedicated to raising awareness of their ancestors' scandalously underappreciated work. So, interesting. And they find a portrait entitled The Lady with Dark Hair. So, sounds good. And then Tracy Peterson's newest book is coming out March 5th, which is A Love Discovered. It is a, what's the first? It's in The Heart of Cheyenne is the series. And anything, again, Tracy Peterson, I love her. She's my Aunt Tracy Peterson now. She's just the best lady ever. I love her so much. Yeah, she's so sweet. I think I even gave her a kiss on the cheek when I met her last May. But she's just like the nicest lady ever, and she's now adopted, and I love her to pieces. She's so sweet. Rosanna M. White is coming out with the next book in the Imposter series, A Noble Scheme. I loved the first book. Spies, circus performers, lions, and everything my heart loves, and so I need to read the second one. And that's it for Christian fiction. So those are all the books that I am excited about for January, February, and March. I definitely still have some that are coming out later on in the year, but those we'll be talking about in my next one. Hopefully I will remember, because you remember me last fall, I forgot to do this video, so but I won't forget for spring and summer and fall this year. Alright, so I hope you all have a wonderful day. Let me know if I forgot any books and that are coming out soon or recently, and you feel like I would like them, please let me know. And yeah, I'll look them up and check them out. Alright, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.